focus on reading and analyzing both primary and secondary source documents.
Reading historical documents is key to historical thinking. Once students are working independently on documents, we see the role of the teacher as circulating among students, checking in with students, observing how students are answering questions, pulling students into small groups should small groups need support, and generally using that time to get a good read of how students are engaging individually with the documents they're moving through. For each of the Zoom in documents, we have 5 question types. Our sourcing questions, read closely questions, gathering evidence questions, identifying a big idea question, and finally think about it questions. Every Zoom in document begins with sourcing questions. We think it's really important to ground students in the historical process of understanding what a document is, where it came from, for what purpose it was created. The teacher's role in discussing sourcing questions with students is going to depend a little bit on the document. In some cases, it's going to be to ask questions such as, this was a political cartoon. What was the purpose of political cartoons? Where do we see political cartoons? In other cases, it's going to be to think critically about the author.
Why did the author write this? What is the author's intention in writing this? Who did he intend it for? Can somebody share with us what they think?
The role of read closely questions is to support deep comprehension of the documents. Before we have students gather evidence from documents, we want to make sure they've really deeply understood documents. So read closely questions are going to ask students to look carefully at language, to make inferences, or to answer questions about some aspect of the text that require careful and close reading. We imagine that teachers will have a really active role while students are reading documents. A good starting place for teachers is always to model a critical read of a document. In many lessons with multiple documents, we would suggest and urge that teachers do a real close and critical read with students together in a whole group to model that close reading skill.
So I can see that word reward, and I know just from what we hear on the news, we see on the side of police cars, that a reward is given to somebody with information or somebody who's able to capture somebody who's done something wrong. And in this case, they're trying to offer rewards for slaves who are running away.
The Zoom In tool has several supports built in to help deepen students' comprehension of documents. There are glossary features in the tool that students can access when they need to. There are rollover functions, so when there are words or phrases that are unfamiliar to students, they can see what the meanings of those words are or have hints about what they meant within a historical period or context. In addition, we're asking students throughout to be taking notes on the documents so that they're always having to put into their own words their understanding of what they're reading. The sourcing questions, and in some cases the read closely questions, help prepare students to engage in the next level of document analysis, which is gathering evidence.